Hello, welcome to Talk of the Course, which is the RCA's now long established, for 2 episodes at least, podcast all about racecourse best practice. I'm Paul, and today we have co-host Matt. Matt, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you, Paul. How are you?
I'm all right. It's your debut on Talk of the Course. You feeling good? You feeling fresh?
Certainly is. Excited to be here. And today we're talking about all things customer experience, in particular the RCA's Quality Assured Racecourse scheme that we run in partnership with the AA. It's a long-standing, well-established scheme now that looks into all facets of the customer experience on a race day and tries to sort of drive continual improvement across our membership. Today, I'm really excited to say that we're going to be joined by Sarah Drabwell, who is General Manager at Sandown Park Racecourse. Sandown had a fabulous year last year. They were named one of the top 10 for customer experience in our scheme, and they were also the joint most improved racecourse along with Utoxeter, seeing an 8 percentage point increase in their score year on year. So Sarah's going to tell us a little bit about how they went about achieving that, what it means to be part of the team at Sandown Park, and what racegoers can look forward to for the upcoming jumps finale fixture there and their flat season.
No, I can't wait. It's going to be fantastic. And Sarah's a colleague of ours we've had for many years and is a really, really great person. So looking forward to that. Here comes Sarah Drabwell.
Okay, hi Sarah. Thanks for joining us today for Talk of the Course. How are you?
Really, really well, thank you. How are you guys?
Very well, thank you.
Very good, thank you. All good.
Today we're talking about all things customer experience, and particularly the Quality Assured Racecourse scheme that we run here at the RCA. Sandown, really successful year last year. What did the accomplishment mean to sort of you and your team on the ground at Sandown?
Yeah, I mean, we're really, really delighted. I think we've been on a journey here at Sandown Park, and it's really about putting the customer at the heart of everything we do. And, you know, we're very lucky. We've got some really brilliant people in the Jockey Club, and Dido Harding, as you know, is our senior steward. And, you know, she comes from a retail background, and she said, if you give the customer what they want, you will find that they come back for more. And it's absolutely true. So, we have been working really hard on customer experience. It's reflected in our NPS scores, which is the measure we use of our customer satisfaction, which they're also up. And as a result, our retention rates are up and our attendances are up. So all in all, it's been a good year for Sandown. We are delighted.
I'm really pleased you mentioned the staff then, Sarah, because I was just looking through the report before we chatted today, and in 7 of the 8 assessment areas, you got over 90%, and staff in particular was one where you did exceptionally well. So that's clearly come through and is being recognised not only by the assessor on the day, but clearly, as you've just said there, across lots of different touch points. I mean, what training do you do with the staff? How do you get that enthusiasm that you've clearly got through to the team and then ultimately to the customer?
Well, do you know what? So what people watching won't have seen is that before we came on air, I have shown you all sorts of bits of history that are sat behind me.
And that was exceptional, by the way. I mean, if anyone's a history nerd, you've got to get to Sandown and speak to Sarah, because there was some really cool stuff on there.
And but we do the same thing with the staff. So before we open gates, I will go down to all of our temporary staff. We make sure that they feel like part of the permanent team here. We tell them what's exciting about the race day. We tell them any interesting stories that have been going on behind the scenes, because even if just in one interaction with one person on that day they pass on that story, you know, it really adds to people's enjoyment of the day. So we go out and we make sure our temporary staff feel like they're part of the permanent team. We make sure that they feel pride in everything we're doing. We make sure they feel really motivated before we come out of the doors. And we are very aware that actually a day can be made or not made by the greeting you receive from the guy who you meet in the car park. So actually, the most important staff members on this race course, they're not me, they're not Andrew Cooper running the race. It's the people out there interacting with our customers. So we make sure that we look after them. And that's really what the ethos is about and how we've done it.
I think that's it comes across really clearly, Sarah, how sort of passionate you and the team are about Sandown Park and providing that great experience. And it was also something that was mentioned by the assessor in your report last year, was the positive spirit that the assessment and the feedback was taken by the senior leadership team on the course. So I was interested to get your perspective as to why schemes like the Quality Assured Racecourse scheme and using feedback metrics like Net Promoter Scores that you referenced earlier. Why is that important to you as a racecourse GM, and how do you use those to sort of drive improvement going forwards?
Yeah, I think feedback isn't just important to the racecourse. Feedback is important to everyone. You know, I give my children feedback on the state of their bedrooms. And you know, it seems like but I was really, really lucky very early in my career to have people that cared enough about me to give me feedback, right? The worst thing is if you don't get it, it means that people aren't interested in what you're achieving. So of course we're interested. We want to hear. Now we can't fix all of it straight away. Our building was built in 1972. I can't magic more toilets or change the angle of the viewing, although we do have the best viewing in the country. I think everyone's agreed on that. But where we can improve things, we absolutely want to hear about it because we can. And, you know, we won't always get it right. There will always be days when a queue is too long or something doesn't work out right. But, you know, you've got to control the controllables here. So if I can, you know, move a bin to make something easier or move a burger van to make viewing, but of course we want to hear. So, and that's why this is really important. In fact, all of the metrics that the RCA and the whole industry supports, so feedback from the jockeys, feedback from the trainers, feedback from the stable staff, it's all really, really valuable and important because otherwise we're never going to improve. And this has got to be in a world where customers have got so much choice. You have to be keeping up with the market and what people want. So, of course, we want to hear what they want to say. So, you know, we welcome feedback. We send out emails after every fixture to make sure people are giving us their feedback because, yeah, without it, we're going to fall behind what customers want. So bring it on.
And you mentioned there, Sarah, like customers are doing other things and you want to benchmark against the other leisure activities they might do. And you know where Sandown is, for anyone who's not aware, it's relatively close to London. You know, it's within an hour of Waterloo. People do, it's marketed quite heavily in London.
Sorry, it's within 22 minutes of Waterloo.
Sorry, that 22 minutes, that's exceptionally less than I said. But it's you're bringing through a big audience from London potentially, and you're into that summer, you know, those social race nights that you have where it's a Thursday night or whatever, and it really is a lovely evening. But you're conscious that those customers are going back into a big city where they've got a choice of anything they want, and you're going to be in direct competition with those areas. So what are some of the things that you've done that are different maybe in the last couple of years at Sandown that are a direct response, if you like, to trying to match and exceed customer expectations from elsewhere?
I think the reality is that actually I can't match a beautiful building that was built 5 years ago, but we've got magic here. We've got horses. You know, one of my favourite quotes, I think it was Churchill, said there's something about the outside of a horse that's good for the inside of a man. I mean, that's fabulous. But actually, because we are in an urban environment, we are now coming across children inside the M25 who have never seen a horse in real life. You know, but we can bring that to them. So I think we're very aware of where we sit as well as an urban racecourse because, you know, we do struggle within the industry. We are starting to have people with a bit of anti-horse sport sentiment, and that is something that comes more from the urban environment, and we are uniquely placed to address that. So actually, we very much try and welcome people in for whatever reason, and we've thrown open our doors with different types of events to bring people in. And then when they're here, we try and teach them about horses. So you will, if you come to Jump Finale in a couple of weeks' time, you will find that we've got Step Back here, who is a horse who had a great sort of Sandown specialist. Step Back X-Race course where we encourage people to come and touch him and see him. We are now running family fun days. For many years, Sandown Park didn't do that. We're now running family fun days where we have Shetlands. We have different events throughout the year. We open our doors to Princess Alice for a dog show and we bring horses along to it. We have various events where we bring the RDA along so people can engage with horses. So we are not trying to match people. We're trying to take our bit of magic, which is the horse and the sport and the excitement, and we're trying to introduce people to our fabulous sport.
I really like that that sense of the magic of the horse, the magic of horse
Mm.
racing within 22 minutes of London, which not everywhere
No.
could say that in that radius. So absolutely fantastic, and a lot of race courses, not just Sandown we're talking about today, but a lot of tracks are trying to expand that family day to a bit more than just the traditional face paint and rides and bouncy castles, into that connection with the sport and with the horse. So it's absolutely brilliant to see, and all credit to you and the team for putting that on.
Yeah, I think it's really important that you can't. If we stand here and just broadcast about the sport, no one's listening. But when I've got a youngster who's walked across our car park because they can see the horses through the fence, and it's in that moment that we can say, "Do you like horses?" And that's where the conversation starts. So yeah, we're really keen to focus on the next generation of fans here, and it's hugely rewarding as well. There's nothing more wonderful than seeing the way the children engage with the Shetlands when we have them here. Although we have to say they are far naughtier than the retired racehorses. So whilst it's a great idea to have them, do get the Shetlands to come. Yes, they're terribly naughty.
Sarah, I mean, last year was a really successful year for the racecourse in lots of areas. I mean, you were a finalist at our awards in the community engagement category. With it being the 150th anniversary of the racecourse, what else have you been up to celebrate that and to open the racecourse up to a new audience?
Yeah, I mean, we're working really hard with that. We talked about the fact that we had this sort of urban environment, so actually it's part of our duty to make sure we're engaging with new people, and that really does start with our local community. So we've got our family race days, but we've also done things like we have fireworks events now, and they're not for commercial reasons, but it's to introduce people to the race course. But we also not just bringing people to us, we're going out as well. So Step Back and Conagry have made trips to the local community centre, again to reach some of those children who maybe haven't seen horses in real life, and to connect them to what we do. We also we do a lot of things for charity behind the scenes, but actually to improve the visibility of what racing brings to even an urban environment. I think everyone's very clear on what racing does for the rural environment. So explaining to people what we do in the urban environment, rather than sort of fly below the radar, we actually brought together all of our fundraising. And working with the mayor, we put together the community fund for Elmbridge, where we encourage all of our neighbours, all of our local businesses to raise money into one fund, which means together we can raise far more money and do far more good within the community. So far, we've actually raised our first 40,000 and we've made 20,000 in donations and grants. So we've supported the local riding for the disabled, the local Rent Start, the local Home Start, and the local Citizens Advice crisis team. So we're probably doing the same amount that we've been doing, but we're making sure that people understand that the racecourse is a force for good within the local community. And then finally, you will know that the Jockey Club is run under a royal charter, which means we're not a commercial organisation. We run ourselves commercially to reinvest in the sport, but as such, we don't have huge sort of endless profits that we can give to charities. What we do is we help with space and we help with time. So we have space, so we welcome in Princess Alice's Dog Fate and Summer Fair. We help the local cycling charity with their big event once a year. And we have a man shed who operate from our site, because all of those things, we can improve the perception of Sandown without, any real cost to us. And actually it enhances everything we do. And it just improves the perception of Sandown as we go.
Yeah, the number of touch points the local community has with its racecourse is pretty endless. You just outlined there a number which are maybe not the most obvious when you think about it, but turns out are really, really effective. And I have to say, I thought the community fund that you put in place with the local mayor's office was just brilliant. It was one of my favourite things I saw across racecourses in the last year, and I'd really encourage anyone to check that out. If you stick it into Google, you'll find all about it. It's a really, really great initiative, and it puts the racecourse absolutely at the heart of the community, involved in that decision-making process of where to award benevolent funds. So really, really brilliant, and I thought it's fantastic. So well done on that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much. We were really proud of it, and of course we raised our first. I think we raised 15,000 Did we raise 15,000? But we did our 150 laps of the course to kickstart the fundraising, which was both the most brilliant and most awful thing we've ever done here. But there's something very wonderful about seeing the race course at every hour of the day and night. So no, it's really good, and I'm incredibly proud of the team, I've got to say, who have really. They've really got behind customer at the heart of everything we do, community at the heart of everything we do, and it's coming out in the results because Sandown is going from strength to strength.
You mentioned some things you've started doing in the past few years, Sarah, and you touched on Jump Finale there as well. Is there anything that racegoers that might be heading to Sandown can expect this season that's new, or anything exciting that you can?
So much that's exciting. So I ride horses, and nothing makes me more furious than when my husband says, "But why are you out of breath? The horse is doing all the work." I think people don't realise just how fit jockeys are. So we've got the jockey gym with us at Jump Finale, and we are encouraging people to come down to try and do elements of the jockey fitness test. So you can come here and see the jockey gym. Obviously, you will be able to meet the stars because we will be having jockey signings. We've got our fabulous end of season awards. Now there's obviously no contest coming, so we know that we pretty much know who all of the champions are, and as a result we're very lucky that we're going to have Dan Skelton bringing some lovely horses to join our parade of champions. So you're not just going to see champion jockeys and trainers, you're going to see champion horses. Step Back, as I said, will be available to kiss, cuddle, touch and feed carrots to up on the summer lawn. And for those that may be racing, they're being dragged along by their other half, we've got the most fabulous after party. So to end the jump season with a real bang, we've got Ellie Sachs, who will be playing out over the parade ring as long as the weather is kind. If not, it'll be indoors. But Ellie Sachs, who, fabulous performer. And aside from all of that, we've got some fabulous racing.
I mean, what more could you want? You've got fabulous racing, the champions of the season and the after party. It sounds like Sandown is absolutely the place to be on that Jump Finale Saturday.
It absolutely is.
Tickets available for that, plus other fixtures. All fixtures at Sandown are available right now. I encourage you to go and check that out from the Sandown Park website. So quite quickly has become many people's favourite part of Talk of the Course is the Quick Fire 5, which is where we learn a little bit more about the guests. And today we have Sarah Drabwell. Sarah, are you ready for Quick Fire 5?
I am ready as I'll ever be.
Okay, here we go. Your favourite venue to visit for customer experience that isn't Sandown Park?
Aintree.
Official racecourse dog, yes or no?
No.
What is the ideal pre-race day breakfast?
Pre-race day breakfast. It's got to be a full English as we're chatting to the catering team. Terrible, but keeps you going all day.
Who is the best racehorse you've ever seen at Sandown Park?
Right, okay. This is controversial because the horse didn't win. But favourite horse I've seen, God, there are so many superstars. I mean, this is not quick, I'm sorry. Watching the Willie Mullins team unload at Jump Finale last year, incredible. But my favourite horse, and I think she would have had a career as famous as Enables had she been born a year or two later, but Magical. So I think Magical was a stunning, beautiful, fabulous racehorse, and I just think if she hadn't been in the sort of same year as Enable here, I think she would have been every bit as famous. So Magical for me.
And finally, how do you, Sarah, celebrate a successful race day at Sandown Park?
So we often have a drink as a team at the end of a long day, and that's horrendous because we will have been here from 5 a.m. until, herding the last race goers out at the end of the day. But we will always have a drink, and then how I celebrate, I slip away and I let the kids carry on and I go and have an early night.
Well, you heard it here first. A full English with a drink to celebrate at the end of the day. Sandown Park is the place to be. Sarah Drabwell, thank you very much for joining us on Talk of the Course today. That's been absolutely wonderful. And we wish you all the very best for the season to come. And congratulations again on being named one of the most improved courses last year, I should say, in the RCA Quality Assured Scheme.
Thank you very much. Been a pleasure, guys.
Thanks, Sarah.